Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Thank you for watching us live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to also go find us on Instagram and the Twitter. And don't forget to go like and share and subscribe and follow and all of those things that you're supposed to do. Go click some thumbs up or some checks or some arrows or whatever, all these things. I don't know. Just go like things. Go say nice things. Tell people.
You were saying things. I wasn't ready yet. I said ready, and then I realized I wasn't ready, and then you were.
You told me you were ready, I clicked it.
I told you I was ready, and then I realized I wasn't, and then you were already off to the races.
Lies. Lies. Okay. Here we go. We're live on the interweb.
There's stuff all over my screen.
You told me you're ready.
Whoa, sister.
Whoa.
Get it together.
I do. All right. We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to have a great time. And we have a lot to talk about. I don't know how this keeps happening.
What?
We have so much to talk about.
But
that's good.
For a second.
We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to have a great
How do you like it? Okay.
All right. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, actually, I want to talk about a movie first.
Thing? Okay.
And I don't think it's on our list, just because I want to bring it up that it's on, since we're not doing our TV thing right now.
Okay.
We'll hope next year we are promising we're going to try to get back to
We're going to get
Tuesdays.
our lives in order.
We got a new show we're going to do. We're trying to get our martial arts, our TV Tuesdays back. So
because I have a lot I want to talk about, honestly.
Yeah. But anyway,
I really
this
do.
one is. I just want to throw it out there real quick. It's this new collection. It's Tex Avery Screwball Classics Volume 2. Now I know it's a big long title, but it's just basically exactly what it sounds like. It's just a collection of Tex Avery cartoons. And they're done like as a 3-ring circus style montage where
you need a montage.
Yeah. Whereas each block is kind of focused on something else.
Yes.
So there's one whole block that's Droopy, which is the greatest cartoon character of all time.
No, I don't like Droopy. I don't care for him.
That's because you have no taste.
The only one I like is the Dixieland Band.
Well, it is on here.
Good. I'll watch that one.
Oh. But then
actually, I want to watch that after the show.
That's fun.
Thank you.
What reason I want to bring this up is because this is like a stark reminder of how much things have changed when you go back to watch these.
Yeah.
Because they even have there on the bottom, it says the Tex Avery Screwball Classics Volume 2 is intended for the adult collector and may not be suitable for children.
It is not suitable.
Even though it technically is suitable for
children. It is because they're not going to get some of this stuff.
It's just not suitable for children today because people are so
PC.
pussified.
Oh, I was saying PC.
Yeah,
okay.
And I'm not talking about the racial stuff because there's some blackface stuff in here and things like this. That's of the time. It's not necessarily okay. And like even the one thing in here, there's a one episode that's a funny episode of Spike and he's singing opera. And every time somebody does something, I think he got hypnotized. And then he keeps changing clothes or whatever and singing different styles. And at one point they shoot like ink or something in his face and he starts singing like soul.
Oh.
So it's the blackface thing
not okay.
meant to change. That's the type of music he was doing.
Oh, goodness.
But it's inappropriate. But even more so, there's stuff of, the people smoking. There's there's the shots of the like actual women in bikinis in episodes. But what's even better about this thing that I like is it also has an entire block that's focused on the House of Tomorrow and
those were fun.
The Cars of Tomorrow
yes.
and the hunting episodes, where the guy goes hunting and when he leaves, the deer's driving, he's got the guy strapped on the hood.
Yeah,
those things. So if you like the old school cartoons, the Tex Avery ones pushed the boundaries of cartoons even back then, and they were some of the best cartoons, in my opinion, that have ever been made. And he worked on mainstream stuff like Bugs Bunny and all that stuff. I believe he's the one that created the What's Up Doc line or whatever, or where it came from. But anyway, Droopy and Spike and Screwball Squirrel and all those guys, these were his babies. And like Droopy was meant to be like a one-off cartoon and then became one of his few, because most of his cartoons were not serialized. They were like in one-off things.
Little characters.
Red Riding Hood became kind of a recurring character. She was like the sexy Riding Hood chick. And it was always her and the wolf. It was always like, woo, the eyes popping out.
Yeah.
And then Droopy.
It was
like,
ooh.
Yeah. So there's a couple of those. So anyway, but this one's available
and
now.
I remember watching these as a kid, and I didn't think anything of it.
No, the only reason people thinking about it now is because adults are bringing it up.
Yeah.
And making a deal out of it. Kids would just laugh.
Yeah, because they're like, that's Sally.
Yeah, they don't recognize the craziness. It's the adults that are the problem.
Yeah, separate. Who does Chilly Willy belong to?
Chili Willy is
Because that's with Woody Woodpecker, right?
yes.
So that's not even this.
Yeah, I don't believe.
Okay, sorry, random question,
Yeah.
but I just remember watching these
Chili
cartoons.
Willy.
Oh, I liked. Everybody loved Chili Willy. I remember at daycare in the afternoon after snack, we'd sit and watch cartoons until parents came to pick us up. And Chili Willy would come up, everybody's like, Chili Willy! I don't know why.
Don't get me wrong, I watched the cartoon, but
Yeah.
but I was like, I always found myself, and I want to say that I was the outcast. I really wasn't. It just, I guess, in my circle of friends, most of them were into the Flintstones and the Jetsons and Scooby Doo, and I didn't like any of those.
The Jetsons has now become our actual lives. So
I watched them all, but I didn't. Those weren't what I wanted to watch.
I see.
The Smurfs, the Snorks, all that stuff was not
Smurfs.
stuff I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
It was the Droopy. It was the Screwball Squirrel, the Barney Bears, any kind of weird,
it's weird,
different cartoon.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that because it somehow connected to me. It was just like, I don't know if it was because it felt different. If it felt like, I love the Woody Woodpeckers, but I only liked the Woody Woodpeckers when he was a psychopath. The early ones with the big legs.
The fat legs?
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Yeah.
That's the same Bugs Bunny
Then
I like.
you definitely didn't like when he had his niece and nephew living with him.
No.
And they went to the sock hop. And...
I'm usually really against the the cartoons when they bring in, like, I like the Tom and Jerry's when they were psychotic too.
Yeah.
Not as much as the later ones. I like all Tom and Jerry, but more so there's like this one little batch that they were made as like little mini movies, and they were just like chaos. And the way they even the way they drew them were slightly different. So it would start off like the barbecue, and it had the kit, and it had Tom and Jerry in the box with the tools and stuff. I don't know if you remember those. Those were my favorites. But there was the Droopy one was one of the few ones where they added a brother or son or whatever. Not Droopy and son. That one not so much. But there's an episode where it's Droopy and he calls his brother Drippy. Yeah. And Drippy's like super strong, but they look identical. So it's a whole thing of Spike is trying to get into the house because they're both butlers. And every time Spike, Droopy bring him in, and then the other, so Drippy would hit him, and then the other one show up. And
so he's like,
and it was like,
I remember that one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway, I just want to point out, because Droopy's my favorite. It's on here. I spent all day Friday watching this whole thing back without stopping. And there's also a really cool documentary feature about Tex Avery's career.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that is cool.
What he did and changed, and even then what was getting him in trouble making some of these cartoons. So Tex Avery Screwball Classics Volume 2 means I got to go buy Volume 1 because I don't have it. It's available now.
All right.
All right, moving on to action.
All right, so we are going to talk about a lot of movies today. Stick with us.
There?
No.
Okay, I'll throw that in there.
Throw it in there.
Go ahead.
All right, where do we want to start? I'm going to just start here, and we're going to go for it, okay?
Start what?
With this movie. So, we have,
that's your movie.
Do you have the video here?
I do.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the movie Fatima. It's based on the true story of these 3 children.
The 3 bears.
Yes, in the city of Fatima, Portugal, in 1917, who claimed to have seen the Virgin Mary
on toast?
On toast, on a wall, on the side of a tree.
Oh.
So all of those. But this was one of the earlier sightings. And at that time, this is Portugal, so this is World War I. So basically, the Virgin talks to them, says, the people must pray. If you do that, and if you stop sinning, the war will end soon, blah, blah, blah. Come back in a month, and I will talk to you again. So the kids tell their parents. Parents, of course, don't believe them, think they're just crazy. And then word spreads, and people start showing up, and like thousands of people start showing up. So it's basically a story, I guess, of faith and religion. And the interesting thing to me is, of course, when someone tries to share something, there's always the naysayer people like, that didn't happen. Y'all are lying. Why would you do that? And then, yes, it's not going to work. And then, because it's like, he's burning. Thank you. I got tired of holding it. The other thing, I know, the other thing that I guess is kind of sad is people don't believe people.
You mean there's a time and world where people don't believe other people's things, saying things that they're going on?
I know.
That sounds very familiar right now.
I know. But the sad thing, too, though, that this happens no matter what, is people are starting to profit off of this. So people showed up, and now suddenly there's this little boy like, buy your crucifix here, buy your crucifix here. and then it starts raining. It's like, oh, buy yours umbrellas right here, which,
it's almost like today's world, like people make stuff to sell for political gain and financial gain. And
like today on the side of the road, I saw a Trump 2020 giant booth on the side of the road where they're selling merchandise and T-shirts. And I'm like, that fool already lost. Why are we selling this stuff?
There's two reasons they're selling it.
Tell me.
The first reason is because they haven't been convinced they've lost. So they're going to keep wearing this stuff.
They're going to keep going.
And I guarantee they're going to wear this stuff for the next 4 years no matter what.
Yeah.
The other is because they know they've lost and they're trying to sell out of it before they can't sell it anymore.
Maybe
nobody wants to buy it. It's very much like the end of like the cowboy season and now all the gear is on sale.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
Well, anyhow.
Somebody spent all that money to buy that stuff thinking, oh, they're going to sell it for another 4 years, and now they're stuck with it.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's an interesting story. It's not Fat Mom, it's Fatima.
That's what I said, Fat Mom.
It's an interesting story if you believe or don't believe. It's just interesting to me.
I believe.
Because there's so many levels to the story. First of all,
is this a true story?
It's based on a true story, yes. And
it's inspired right there.
Yeah. Well, and it's inspired. We obviously don't really know what the Virgin Mary or the
Harvey Keitel.
Yeah. Or the people actually said to the children. It's based on accounts from the lady, because throughout the story, we see that the little girl, the main girl, is there as an older lady telling the story.
Does Harvey Keitel kill anybody or get naked in this movie?
He's very mean and wants to imprison the children.
Okay, so it's vintage character, Harvey Keitel.
Pretty much.
I'm always weirded out when Harvey Keitel takes on a normal role. It weirds me out.
Yeah,
I'm used to him being praised because he's such a great actor, but he's good at those roles.
I mean, I feel like it's a thing. Like, do you believe? Do you not believe? But I don't understand why, if someone has a belief, why we can't just be like, okay, cool, and move on. You don't have to believe what they believe.
That's an ongoing issue.
Today.
Yeah, it's an ongoing issue. It's like, my whole thing is, like, I believe in God, but I have my questions and my issues and my thoughts. And we have discussions about that all the time. But I would never once look at you or somebody else, and because you believe differently than I do, think that you're wrong or think that you need to be changed or talk differently to you. I think that's a big issue with not only government stuff, but religion stuff. Yeah. Because there's so many things in religion where it's, you're beaten mentally in most religions that the religion you're in, the faith that you have, is the right one. All others are wrong.
Yeah.
And that's where the friction comes in, because you have so many people, Vader, leave that alone. You have so many people who, Christians are the worst about it, because there's so many, first of all, the biggest problem is so many factions of Christianity. It's very much like martial arts. There's so many factions of one thing.
Well, and everybody wants to believe what they
everybody's right.
Yeah.
And, if the instinct is to immediately say, okay, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Buddhist, if you're anything other than this Christian, then you're going to hell.
You're wrong. Exactly.
As opposed to looking and seeing I respect your differences, but we all have the same mentality of love and peace and caring for one another and things like this that you can grow from. Because there's some people, like your dad is one that I will say studies other religions, even though he's a firm believer in his Christianity. He's a minister, if you don't know. But I know he studies other things to learn other things. Yeah. Whereas we know other people that are hardcore ministers or preachers or whatever you want to call them, that they'll tell you that even normal Christians are not real Christians. Yeah. Because they don't do things the way
they don't do what they do. But and then that gets to my whole argument I've had this whole year with this whole election thing. I'm gonna blow up our show here, but with all of the supposed conservative Christians, and you need to be Republican. Okay, conservative Christians, I'm at church 3 times a week. What about you? Nothing. They're just sharing all these dumb posts and memes and stuff.
But see, you also got to have the argument of there's certain people we know too that are preachers of that kind that talk about just because you go to church doesn't mean you're a Christian, which is factual. Correct. But if you're not doing the exact thing that they're saying, or the extreme levels of the way they say you should do it, or their version of Christianity beliefs.
I can't deal with that because I get it. I understand that if you look at the parties, like this party supports bad things and this party supports good things. Okay.
But that's not even true is the problem.
It's not, because you got to look at the people. Like why are you going to follow someone who's a hot bowl of crap But they're in the right party.
Well,
That's
we
dumb.
sadly live in a world on politics, religion, and everything else.
Cochinos, get out of there.
What are they? Oh.
They're looking at each other's business.
Underneath it. Every aspect of everything, politics, religion,
it's too much.
Race, it's always, we're going to go with the lesser of two evils mentality, which is the problem. There shouldn't be a lesser of two evils.
There needs to be more better options.
Better options. And because us as a people will not rise up in a way to say, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And as long as the people in power are making money off us, this will never change.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it. You can protest. You can find. All you can do is the next generations have to get in there, like they've been doing now, is get in offices and run and get up there and try to change
your
stuff.
Fightings or playing or whatever.
Stop.
Well, and that's kind of where this movie is. Like, these kids, even though they were children, they were determined to stick with it, do the right thing. They never changed their story. They're like, we don't care if you don't believe us. Their family was falling apart. The government was trying to stop them because at this moment, churches had been shut down. Religion was kind of banned in the city because it's like, forget all that, we're in war. But they didn't change. And it's interesting because now, if it had an appropriate movie ending. I'm sorry. Do we need to separate the dogs?
We might need to.
It had an appropriate movie ending. It did show actual footage from one of the miracles that took place during this time period, and you can go find it online. It's called The Miracle of the Sun, where the sun like went in and out and shined real bright and then went dark, and it was like one of the signs. And now there's an actual there's an actual a shrine here that you can go visit. So we could do that one day, perhaps. Okay, we're having to separate the animals because they can't behave with each other. So anyways, if you see it somewhere, check it out. It's called Fatima. It is beautiful and moving. It is good. It is in Portuguese, but don't let that bother you. It's okay. You know how to read. Get over yourselves. It's a really good movie. It has some good people in it, and I enjoyed it. And there you go. Boom. Going on to the next movie, and you're not here. Oh, well, that means I get to pick what I want to talk about. Let's see. What's next? Oh, Lord. I don't really want to talk about that. That's a Bobby movie. All right. I'm going to keep going. We're going here, and then Bobby's going to tell me this is a stupid movie to talk about, and I don't care. Next, we're going to talk about the Netflix Princess Switch and Switch Again. And I picked this.
Why did I come back, man?
I know. Exactly what I said. Bobby's going to say this is a stupid movie to talk about.
Can I leave again?
So the Princess Switch came out a couple of years ago, and it's little what's her name?
Little what's her
Switch. Vanessa Hudgens.
Hi, I'm Little what's her name?
Little Vanessa Hudgens. Oh, girl, no. It came out in 20. Oh, that's the Princess Switch again. I want the original Princess Switch. Come on, Internet. Why are you failing me? 2018.
I think your failing started when you started to watch these movies.
This is a cute little movie. So she meets her twin. Her twin's American. The queen's obviously
Who plays her twin?
British. She plays her own twin.
What?
I know. And they decide to switch lives for a few days.
How can they do that?
Okay.
How can no one tell them apart?
While they switch lives, the regular girl falls in love with the prince, and then the princess girl falls in love with the regular guy. Aw, isn't that sweet? And so, people live happy. There you go. Well, in the new movie, they switch again. But guess what? Now there's a third girl.
Who plays the third one?
She plays it again.
What?
Now this is the evil cousin.
Oh my God, of course the third one's evil.
Yeah, well, it has to be. It's the evil cousin. And she...
So did the other ones ever switch back?
Yeah, they switched back, yeah. And the girl ended up with the prince, and the girl ended up with the regular guy. So there you go. They switched back, but they still had their happily ever afters.
That's so stupid.
But now we get to the new movie. Problems have ensued with some of the relationships.
And because this one's new, we can't tell you if they switch back this time.
They switch, and then the third one wants to switch, but she has switched with we don't know who.
How can they? That's an uneven switch now. So how can
it is? And so someone's missing because of the switch.
Yeah, and common sense of this movie.
Craziness ensues. Here's what I like when you do these repeat or sequel movies. They got all the same people back. Obviously, Vanessa Hudgens is back doing her switch. But, like, all the guys are back. The little girl
I wonder
if
she had to audition for the third role.
She did. And so all the people came back. So I liked it. I thought it was the cutest little movie. I laughed. I cried. I just loved it. It was so good. The other thing that I really
You were so
liked,
strong and powerful when we were having the political discussion, and now this. So if somebody was to hear this first, they'd be like, she's dumb. And then
rewind to the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I have a stance.
She has a stance, and then she goes into...
Don't get me, conservative Christians. Don't get me started with your BS.
What is the name of the sequel?
This is The Princess Switched Again. I can like cute girly movies and still have some political opinions.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can sit down protest.
Oh my God, don't bring that
So
up
there,
again.
okay. The Princess Switched
Hold on. I got to
again.
tell y'all something really quick. It's funny.
This movie is super cute. It's on Netflix now. And watch out at the end because there is a little cameo from the Christmas Prince.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Also a Netflix movie, which you should watch. There's like 2 or 3 of those.
I have to tell you, since she yelled sit down protest, you've never heard the story of her sit down protest. I'm not going to go into that story. But she once did a sit down protest at the Star Wars
and it
convention.
Worked.
It did not work.
It worked.
It did absolutely
because
nothing.
I got first place in line.
I tell you this because we're watching something else. What were we watching that they were protesting?
It was a show or something. What was it?
Was it a movie?
It was about women and protests and having your voice heard.
Anyway, whatever it was, I don't remember what it was. There were something about a protest, and somebody sat down or something.
Yeah.
This woman looks at me like she was showing me that she understood the plight of these people.
Yep.
Because she goes like this. We're sitting across the room, right? And I just happened to glance at her. She was purposely looking at me because this person sat down to protest, and she goes, I'm like, woman, your protest didn't do anything. So you know, her protest was her alone. Nobody joined in.
That's okay.
It was by herself.
That's okay. Sometimes you have to just stand or sit for what you believe in. Even if no one is with you, you stand firm.
I was standing next to her, and I'm like, what are you doing, moron?
Did you see how fast I sat down too? My butt.
Oh yeah, she sat down. Well, once your butt starts to move down, you have a lot of butt.
Is in motion.
You couldn't have stopped it.
You cannot stop it.
The funny part about her sit down protest wasn't even that she sat down to protest. It's that she verbally yelled, "Sit down, protest!" and sat down in the middle of a convention hall, surrounded by thousands of people. Nobody looked.
The poor guy that was trying to help was just like.
The volunteer looked. The people that were all behind us were like. So they all just stood there too, and I'm like, I know, sorry, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, so moving on.
Anyhow, okay, next movie.
Talk about this one real quick.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Because I don't think you have this.
Okay, cool.
All right, so this other one, I didn't have high hopes for this movie anyway. It kind of came out of nowhere. It's a movie called Cage Fighter Worlds Collide. Being a martial artist, I'll watch anything that has fighting in it. Might be about fighting. But you look at the actual cast, it's got Gina Gershon in it, which I do like, even though she's getting up there. It's got Chuck Liddell, who's a real MMA fighter. And then what I didn't realize is there was...
Oh, goodness. The baby's crying.
Well, I left that door open, too.
No, that's the problem.
But apparently this was like... I don't know if it was made by the wrestling, like AEW wrestling or something, because you got John Moxley in it, who's a wrestler, and I think he wrestled with WWE as well. And then Christian, remember Edge and Christian? Yeah. Christian plays like a radio guy in it. Then there's like a who's who of MMA fighters and wrestlers like Matt Hardy and Bubba
Shrimp.
Bubba Dudley. And a bunch of MMA fighters doing like interviews. They all have like small cameos, but the premise of the movie isn't anything we haven't seen 1,000 times. It's almost like so the basic story is this MMA fighter who is like a 4 or 5 time champion.
Yeah. And
they're trying to find his next big thing, right? And they decide they want to pit him against a professional wrestler in an actual MMA fight.
Okay.
So this guy, John Moxley, who's a real life professional wrestler, they're bringing him in, and so he's going to fight him, and so he kind of makes it. So it's almost like they took the Rocky 3 story of Hulk Hogan and Rocky doing the exhibition fight, and made an entire movie around it.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
Not really. And
it sounds fun.
But then, of course, the normal thing happens. The guy ends up not taking the fight seriously. He loses the fight. Then things start going to crap. Yeah, because now this other guy is the champion, MMA champion. Because it was supposed to be, it wasn't meant to be an exhibition fight either. It was a real fight. He just didn't take it serious. So then the whole movie's about this guy trying to climb his way back up, get a rematch, blah, blah, blah. So it's not a bad movie. It's just, it's kind of cliched because you know exactly the formula that's going to happen. The fights aren't overly exciting. They weren't trying to be. They were trying to make them kind of more realistic.
Yeah.
But all I could think about was Rocky 3. You know, like, this is Hulk Hogan and Rocky's fight, you know, and giving them an entire movie. But I give them credit. They kind of put it interesting together, and there's tons of montages.
We need a montage
to fill some time. So, I mean, if you want to check it out, it's a movie called Cage Fighter World's Tide. It's available now on Blu-ray and DVD. Especially if you're a wrestling fan, you'd like it because Christian, like I said, shows up as a radio broadcaster. There's like a show about sports fighting and stuff. And then John? I always forget. John Moxley. He has another name, but I don't know what the other name he goes by is.
No, tell.
Yeah, I think he's John Moxley in AEW, and I forgot what he was called in WWE. It was something else. Anyway, it's available now.
There you go.
All right, moving on.
Next, what would you like to talk about, babe?
Whatever you love. You want to talk about the greatest movie ever made?
Sure.
So we have 2 movies this week that are movies kind of that fall in the category of movies Drew's never seen.
Yeah.
Now, this one I think you had seen,
Yeah.
but you didn't remember how much.
I didn't really remember it, and it's so long ago.
And I love this stupid movie. And I'll tell you right ahead, it's a stupid movie.
It is stupid.
I love this stupid movie. I watched it. This movie was one of the movies that made my parents my mother get rid of cable because it was on HBO all the time. And I watched it every time it came on. This and Porky's, because I wasn't supposed to be seeing Porky's and it kept coming on. Needless to say, I did see Porky's. So what is the movie, ma'am?
This movie is Popeye, the live-action movie.
Starring Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, not Shelley Long, but this one.
I was like, Shelley somebody.
Ray Walston. I forgot the guy that plays Blue.
There's a baby.
Yeah.
There's a grandpa.
Anyway, it's a Robert Altman movie. Came out in 1980. And Paramount, right? Yeah. They just put out this 40th anniversary edition Blu-ray, so it gave us a chance to revisit it. So we haven't really discussed it.
Correct.
I know you've always talked trash about it.
It's just not that good.
So now that you, as an adult, you get to revisit it as a whole.
Yeah, give it some fair comments.
You saw it for what it is. You know Robin Williams. You know everything. So what did you think of it now?
It's just not that great. I mean,
come on.
It's so cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very over the top and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. The singing is horrible throughout.
The singing is excellent, except for hers.
They're all bad, honey.
No, they're great songs.
No.
This is how a musical should be done, because it's not about everybody being masterful singers. It's about feeling like real people are singing songs and telling stories. And this is obviously a live-action cartoon. The whole aspect is supposed to be
I would rather watch the cartoon.
See, and I think the cartoon's ass.
See, and that's where we're different. That's what we found out. Is I like the cartoons and don't like the movie. You like the movie and don't like the cartoon.
Yeah, like, again, it's another cartoon I watched all the time, like everyone. I
liked it.
I loved when Popeye would, but the only part of the cartoon I wanted to watch was him squeeze the spinach. And when I was a kid, I would grab pieces of lettuce because I hated spinach.
Yeah.
I'd throw lettuce in my mouth, and then I'd punch my arms out and my legs out like I was getting stronger, and then I'd run around punching stuff. And
did you hit your mom? Is that what really happened?
I didn't hit my mom, but
okay.
I hit everything else.
But you were probably breaking. Yeah, that's what happened.
But when I remember seeing this movie, I was like, holy crap, that is really Popeye.
I mean, he really does look like Popeye, and the whole world looks like Popeye. It's just not a very good movie.
It is an awesome movie. It's ridiculously stupid, but you have to buy into that it's a cartoon in the real world. That's where it is. It's not ever meant to be anything other than what it is.
Yeah.
And like there's elements that they talk about where the opening of the movie feels different than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the opening of the movie feels kind of like a real movie.
Yeah.
And the rest of it goes
into
the wackiness.
nonsense.
Like you have to at least give the movie credit for the geniusness of what they put together, of how many. Oh yeah,
the sets look great. The costumes are really
I'm not even talking
good.
about that. I'm talking about like just the stuff, all the different nuases and things that are going on.
Oh, they got everything in there.
The rolling and the flipping and the
ridiculousness.
The pratfalls and all the craziness of everything. I mean, everything's perfectly cast. Everybody looks like the characters they should look like. Come on.
No, they look great.
You tell this audience that you loved it.
I did not love it. I think
lied.
it's okay.
You should have seen it.
I have no desire to ever watch it again.
We're watching it again tonight.
I didn't really want to watch it when we watched it this week.
We're watching it tonight. So.
No, we're not.
Oh, no, we are.
No, I really don't like it. It's not.
We're going to watch it while eating ham. She doesn't like ham either.
Why am I not allowed to just not like?
Because
I like everything.
I know, but I don't like when you're wrong.
One. The cartoon was better.
I don't like when you're wrong.
I like when he goes to Goon Island.
No, I totally.
That's my favorite thing.
Oh, I hate the Goon stuff.
I love it.
So
love it.
The Goon thing is the Goon that had the powers, right?
Yeah.
That was actually supposed to be part of this movie, and that's why they thought it was too kind of way over the top to get there. That's why they give the baby more clairvoyance.
I see.
To kind of take the place of that. No, I totally get it. Yeah. This is a movie that's I'm giving her crap out, but this is a movie that is obviously an acquired taste. Like I know more people that hate this movie than I know that actually like this movie.
I don't hate it.
It's one of those, and I'll admit as an adult, as much as I still found it fun and entertaining, it's not as good as I remember enjoying it.
They were so fun.
There was supposed to be a Popeye animated film coming out sometime soon. And I saw some of the footage from it, and it's like more of a CGI. It looks really good. Okay. So I would watch that. I think maybe I'm just not sophisticated enough to understand it in the real world. Oh, you damn sure aren't. I understand that. Robin Williams is brilliant in the film, by the way. It is a problem because you can't hardly understand Popeye's voice most of the time. Because he's darn there the whole time. Even when they filmed it, they couldn't. He had to go back and recut it because you couldn't understand it. And so, but it is what it is. This was Robin Williams, also his very first feature film. It's kind of got more of a cult following now. So it has some different special features on at the premiere and just some music and stuff like that. Yeah, we saw some behind the scenes things, really some interviews. It's pretty cool. That part I did like. I like all that. And the movie was a box office bomb, if I'm not mistaken, when it came out. Now it's kind of found a cult following over the years. And the little town that they made has become like a tourist attraction. And where's it in? It's in Malta. Malta Mills, where Malta Mills made. But anyway, but Popeye, the 40th anniversary edition, is available now from Paramount. I was so excited when they released this, just because I'm happy for you. And I'm not gonna ever watch it again, but it damn sure is gonna send it. But I am gonna introduce it to the grandchild, and she's gonna love it. And then I'm gonna send a copy home to my son. Oh, Lord. I believe my kids hate this movie too. Do they? I think so. I think I forced them to watch it a couple times because I force everybody to watch it at least once. If you know me and you haven't seen this movie yet, then you don't really know me. We can come watch it on the big screen. So, ooh. I'll make you some popcorn to keep you entertained while you have to deal with that. We're going to watch it on the big screen tonight. I'm not watching this at all, babe. No. I'm going to wait till you're asleep, and I'm going to put it on in the bedroom and crank it up. You can go ahead and do that. And you're going to come up and go, and you're going to be like, and then I'm going to run away and take all the remotes from you because you're too lazy to get up and change it. All right, next. Moving on. What you got, sister? We have these here. You want to go ahead and know the other one that you had never seen? Which one? This one? Yeah, let's go there. Things I've never seen. Okay, so this next one is part of the Paramount Presents collection. Into movies I've never seen. They recently released Eddie Murphy movies, and they put out what was it? Coming to America, Steelbook Edition, Beverly Hills Cop on 4K, the first one. They put out 2 places in a Paramount Presents edition. And this one, which she had never seen. Never even heard of it. Oh, you hadn't even heard of it? No. Oh, wow. It's called The Golden Child. There you go. From 1980. Thank you, Paramount Presents. 86. And it's another one that has the original poster fold out kind of thing. It's Eddie Murphy's first foray into fantasy. It was actually, I believe, meant to be a Mel Gibson vehicle. Oh. And then when Eddie Murphy jumped on, they kind of rewrote it to be a little more comical. Yeah. Instead of just a serious fantasy adventure. Eddie Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, is not a fan of this movie. Yeah. Did not come out to be the movie that he thought it was going to be. And so there's a lot of issues with this movie. But we have not discussed what your thought about this movie at all. And I realized after seeing this movie that I never saw all of it. And I do remember watching it at home. I worked at a video store at one point. I didn't see it when it came out in 86, but I remember I worked at a video store in 1991, 92-ish. And I remember renting it on VHS and bringing it home. And I remember watching it, but when I was watching stuff then, it was like at 1, 2 in the morning. Yeah, and I would fall asleep going to school. I don't remember, because going back and visiting, I only remember about half the movie. Oh, okay. So it was kind of new to me as well. So, but I would like to think, what did you think of this movie?
I liked this movie.
Did you?
Yes, I really did. There is one thing with that one character that's a little bit
Which character?
these days. The guy that has some very bad Asian makeup.
Oh, you know what? Rendell Tex Cobb when he's made to look like a Mongol.
Yeah, that's not
and
okay.
He's never really understood if he was supposed to be or not.
He actually looked like half.
He looked like another
vampire.
Yeah, because you had the other guy that was like the monkey face
and half Asian.
Yeah, because
it was not okay.
He may not even have supposed to be an Asian. They may have made him.
I don't even know.
Because we had another guy that's made up to look like he's part monkey.
Yes, he's deformed. So who knows what it was? But I was like, if he's supposed to be, if that's some bad makeup to make him look Asian, that's not okay.
Have you ever seen Raising Arizona?
No. Why would I watch this?
Because it is an excellent movie.
Let me go
with Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter. It's a Farrelly Brothers movie, I believe, or a Coen Brothers movie.
No.
Coen Brothers. No.
Movie.
Okay, we're gonna go watch that. One's a must see. You have to see that, and that's what we got to discuss.
Okay. Anyhow, that's the only thing I didn't like, but I actually liked the movie. I think some of the effects now are a little bit dated. But
they're a lot dated.
I know, because it's one of those where obviously they just on top did like wah 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 kind of effects. But it's okay. And there's one scene where like we have a little foray, I guess, into hell, and so
that scene actually comes out a little
actually
cool.
I looked because it's like the whole window opening into hell.
Well, that one, remember, because it's like the bricks disappear on the wall, and that one actually still held up fairly well because
there was just
kind of layer, but like with the creatures and some of the
some of the monsters or whatever demons or whatever they're supposed to be was a little hokey. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
See, I think I had a different vision of what this movie was.
I still remembered something different.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it. It's a decent. It's to me. It's not Pluto Nash bad, but it's still one of Eddie Murphy's weaker ones, in my opinion. And this was at a time when he was like top tier.
Yeah.
And it still screamed Eddie Murphy because it felt like any time we weren't in the fantasy part with the music that was Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
He's walking, it's had that same 80s music vibe of him walking,
Yeah.
And of course, Eddie Murphy before, until he got older and started doing, not even older, but until like stuff like Coming to America and Distinguished Gentlemen and stuff like this, he was kind of Eddie Murphy in everything.
Yeah, which is fine.
It worked, but I think he felt kind of out of place in a fantasy film here for me. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like he belonged there, but he did fine.
Yeah.
I'm with you that it's very dated looking movie,
dated.
And not because of the music and the look. It's that the effects really makes it dated,
cool.
But it's also kind of makes it charming.
Yeah,
because you're seeing what they did, but it's hard to say. Well, the effects are because of the time, but by this point you had already had Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. So there were ways to do it, but obviously I know not everybody could do it.
Yeah.
Depend on budgets and what they did. So, but it's an entertaining movie. If you're an Eddie Murphy fan, it's definitely one you need for your collection.
Yeah, I liked it, and I like the genre. It's a little sci-fi fantasy-ish, dealing with some stuff. He's just a good guy trying to save a kidnapped child. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's good.
But there's some funny moments too.
There's some funny stuff. There's some heartfelt stuff, and
the little golden child that's the boy in the movie played by a little girl.
Well, at a certain age, it doesn't even matter.
It still baffles me that the main lady was supposedly only like 18.
This girl?
Yeah.
No way. She looks way
she's
older.
18 in the movie when they shot it.
Yikes. She looks way older.
Yeah.
That's not good. Because right now she might look real old.
If she's still alive.
Who is she?
And what's weird is her name is Charlotte Lewis.
Oh, Charlotte Lewis.
That
doesn't sound like an Asian name. But you know what? We don't know anything about you, Charlotte Lewis. I'm gonna go to Charlotte Lewis.
Hold on, we're looking up Charlotte Lewis to see what she's up to these days.
Okay, Charlotte Lewis. She's still alive. She's from London.
Born in 1967. So how old would that make her in 1986? It seems older than 18.
She was 19.
19 years old. So
wow.
All right then.
What is she doing now? Last thing she did is in 2019.
She hadn't worked since 2003 and then jumped into 2019.
Well, maybe she was having kids. You go, girl.
All right.
Doesn't even matter. The movie was good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's got some making of stuff on here and trailers and stuff. So check it out. I'm really digging this Paramount Presents collections. It's not offering up a whole lot of new stuff, but it's fun because they put out different kinds of genre movies from different years.
Yeah.
And so not only do they all have this little Paramount Presents logo up at the top, and all of them have the same fold out of the main poster. Sometimes it has a little bit different box art than the main poster here, but then it also has this little red tag at the bottom, and it tells the year of what year that specific movie came out, and it has a number on the side. So if you wanted to just collect the series, you could have them by number order because every time they put a new one out. So like Airplane and Trading Places.
Yeah, all those that we see.
The King Creole.
Rear Window.
Fatal Attraction. And a lot of these different movies. Not Rear Window. No, that was part of the Alfred Hitchcock collection.
What was that?
I don't remember. But all of those have been coming out under this collection. So it's a cool thing. So it means they're going to, if they keep it going, there's no telling what will come next. So let's just see. But they're available now. All 4 of the Eddie Murphy movies. This one and Trading Places on the Paramount Presents. The Steelbook edition of Coming to America, which Coming to America 2 is hitting next year on Amazon, I believe it is. And with Arsenio and Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes.
That'll be interesting.
And almost every other member of the cast of the original Coming to America, including, I believe, James Earl Jones.
That'll be fun.
And Beverly Hills Cop on 4K are all available now from Paramount Pictures.
There you go. Boom.
What's next?
Next, we have 2 more things to talk about. So we'll go this one, and then we'll get to the other one.
All right.
This I'm excited. This came out in theaters, didn't it?
Yeah, it was
last
like a
weekend.
limited release kind of theater thing.
So excited. Okay, this movie is called Half Brothers. Not to be confused with Step Brothers, because that is a completely different movie. This is Half Brothers. Available now. Okay. So this is the story of these 2 brothers who
were half brothers.
They didn't even know each other existed. So that's already like cray-cray. So we start off in Mexico with the Hispanic-looking gentleman.
This is kind of a bilingual movie.
It is. So
I wonder if it's like a dual production.
It might be. I'll go check it out. It starts off there. The guy, his dad, goes to America to search for a better future and to work, and then he never comes back. And as you see in the trailer, his father's ill, wants to speak with him. He shows up and finds out, hey, new family.
And you have to understand too, it's not we don't know the story of why the dad never came back.
Right.
And so as now we've got the adult Hispanic son who hates his father. He's clearly got his own relationship issues and trust and anger that he's dealing with. And it's one of the few times that I've seen a movie like this that makes sense why, because he's going to get married and she has a kid. Mm-hmm. And so when this kind of happens, she's like, you have to go make peace with your father.
She's like, you got daddy issues.
But it's not the normal issue of like, go talk to your dad, because we always talk about that. Like, no, if they're an asshole, you don't have to talk to them.
Yeah, I agree.
He has issues. And she's like, really does. You need to go talk to him because you need to fix your issues if you're going to try to be a dad to my son.
Correct.
Because you can't. And they kind of show that. Mm-hmm. And it's not in a way that it's meant to be like, it's not his kid, so it's not his important, but it shows that he can't even have a normal relationship with him because he's like, the kid is funny. He's into horror and scary stuff.
Fun.
And so they're having a discussion.
He's a little
with
weird,
him.
But it's funny weird.
Well, it's fun. It makes me think of you years ago on how you would talk to kids. Yeah. Because he goes to talk to the kid was being bullied, and he'd be like, well, if you don't want to be bullied, don't be weird. It's like that was his solution instead of trying to figure out why is the kid weird? What's his issues? What's going on? He's just like, don't be weird. He's like, good talk. And the whole time the kid's wearing this big weird mask with an axe in his head.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That kid's awesome.
He was awesome. Anyhow, so what did you think? Because I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed the movie. I didn't have high hopes for it. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to suck. I thought it would be entertaining, but I thought it was
when it was just random, like we were sitting in the theater a couple of weeks or months ago, and we saw a trailer for this, and it's coming to there. I'm like, that's a random movie.
Well, I thought it was going to be very predictable, and it is. Yeah. But the dynamic of the culture clash, which it wasn't played up in a way to make you feel like they're trying to throw culture down your face. Correct. But it exists because one grew up in America, one grew up in Mexico, and you're dealing with immigration. You're dealing with financial statuses. Yeah. Because one person's well off, one's not. You're dealing with responsibility. You're dealing with trust issues, and you're dealing with so many layers even though it's a comedy road movie,
Yeah.
that is
It's
chaotic.
like a road trip movie.
Yeah, it's not just straightforward. It's very much Due Date with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
But this twist, I think, adds more layers to it that didn't have. Like Due Date has those layers too in a different way.
Yeah.
But the fact they're related and they're having to deal with the things, and you think one thing about one's life and the other one's, and you start learning about them.
Yep.
Every time it gets kind of serious, it injects like a really stupid
something
situation
happens.
That's entertaining. It only takes itself seriously when it needs to.
Yeah.
But it allows itself to be fun when it can.
And I like that because, like you said, there's layers and there's the unexpected layers. So I think the good thing that I liked is that it kind of breaks up your stereotypes of what you think someone from Mexico is like.
Yeah.
And then we get a little bit of the white dude who has everything, but he's just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you get the guy that's had to really work hard and the other guy who's like, eh. And then you get the financial status, like you said, and it's not what you expect it is.
Well, and it's also nobody is really how you think they are in the movie. Like, you know, the people you think are fine are probably deeper scarred than the other people are, you know, and why they're treated that way is like, and all of it circles back to the character you're led to believe exists as the father, and what you find out he actually is, as well as what he went through. So like you take on this emotional journey on how you feel about their father, not just them, and he's barely in the movie. Yeah, you know, like when you see him originally, you love the guy, and then you know he's leaving, you're like, things aren't going to go well.
No,
you know?
It's not going to go well.
And then it jumps ahead, and then when you see him, you're like, what a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, and then the story starts where you're like, oh, like ass. You know, so things keep happening.
Takes you back and forth.
Yeah, it's like
I liked as the journey unfolded because we kept finding out new and more information. It's interesting because it is actually what would happen in real life, I think.
And there's not anything in this movie about trying to redeem anybody. It's like, this is what happened.
This is what it is.
Here's what it is. It's up to you two to figure this out.
And that's what I liked. It didn't try to give you the storybook, everyone's going to be happy, because you're not. Not every single person is not going to be happy, because that's not how life works. And, you know, even between the brothers, you know, the one's mad that, well, you got my dad. The other one's mad like, well, he wanted you. So there's that whole dynamic of neither one of them's ever going to be completely
and I like
happy.
that it's like this is the prime example of the whole opposites attract. Dysfunction is what is real.
Yes.
Because there's not a family around or relationship that's not dysfunctional somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's just one member of your family. If you don't know who in your family is the dysfunctional one, it's you.
Oh, you know what? Who is in your family?
It would be me.
And who is it in my family?
It would be me.
It's
I'm you and your family.
Yeah. It's you. You brought it with you. It's me.
But
I'm the weirdo.
I'm the outcast of my family. I'm the most stable in my family.
True.
So,
I'm the weirdo as well, and I am most stable as well. Anyhow,
so,
I like
my family's not jacked up like that.
Oh no, mine is.
I know yours is. Mine isn't. Most of the jacked up people in my family are gone now, but
my family are very sweet and kind. It's just emotionally dysfunction.
Yeah, mine was more. The patriarchs of the family were always the issue. You know, my grandmothers, and I love both my grandmothers deeply. You know, we had one grandmother who had nothing, but she acted like she had everything, and always pushed people away because she had that attitude. I had my other grandmother that did have everything, but wanted to rule. Yeah, but she also loved everyone. Yeah, and so it kind of created backlashes of everything, and created divides. And then as we all got older and grew up, we all started doing our things. And so there were certain members of the family that latched onto her. There were some people that did their own thing. There's people like me that were like, I don't care. I'll do whatever I want to do. If you don't like it, too bad. You know, like, that's how I live my life anyway. It's like, if you don't like what I'm doing, this is my life. You know.
Gonna live my life.
That's right. That's what I mean. That's one of the things me and her clash about sometimes is I don't understand, like, you're
wanting to please people.
But it's not like I want to please people, like, but the bowing down mentality of, oh no, but this is my mom and dad do this and this. I can't tell them this or I can't do that, or like, and I'm like, you're like 50 years old.
Wow, I am not. I'm like 40 years old.
What are you? 43?
Yes, let's just go with that. But
Let's go with that. That means she's like 44.
it doesn't matter.
but
My life is separate. It's none of their business.
No, I get that part, but to me, I just can't comprehend as an adult. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to have that discussion now, but I'm saying that's what we clash about.
Because I don't care.
Is I don't understand, huh?
I don't care enough to share.
No, but you do. You care enough to not share.
Correct.
Like I will share everything with anybody. I don't care. I don't give them information.
I don't want to talk to people.
It's okay. You're missing what I'm saying. You're trying to spin it to where you trying to keep yourself private.
Oh no. Well, I just don't want them to know
stuff.
Correct.
Whereas I'm a grown person. My life is my life. If you don't like it, sorry.
I'm okay with that. You do you.
This
baby.
is why we butt heads.
Anyhow, the movie Half Brothers.
She said change the directions.
We got to get back to the movie. It's really good. I like it. It deals with immigration. It deals with status. It deals with money. It deals with relationships. It deals with family issues.
Aeronautics.
Brother issues. Mama issues. Family issues. Stepkids. Getting married.
I think at the end of all this, I was more mad at the mom than anybody else.
Yeah.
And that was never really addressed.
But I think she was doing what she needed to protect herself and her child.
I agree, but that was the one part of the movie that I felt was empty, like there was no confrontation.
Yeah, well.
But at the same time,
at this point, what are you going to do 40 years later? Or whatever?
Yeah, I get that. It was just if I had to have an issue, that
the
was
best part. I think is the little goat. So cute.
Is that me?
Yeah. Did you scare yourself?
Yeah, I started laughing. That sound came out. I'm like.
It's super cute, and it plays an important
I kind of made a
role
goat sound inadvertently.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't even do that again. No, I'm not trying to make a goat. I'm trying to make that weird sound I just made. I might have had a seizure.
Are you okay?
Huh? Where are we? All right, go ahead.
What else was I going to say about the movie? You should watch it now. Where can we find the movie, babe? I think it's available.
Oh my god! I think I just
on the line.
I believe you can do it on the digital or whatever, but I know it's in select theaters right now.
Yeah, go check it out.
Check
Be
it out.
Supportive. It's a cute little movie. I mean, it's not going to be the blockbuster hit of the world.
No, but I like movies like this.
It's a cute movie.
It's a familiar movie with some different takes on it.
Yeah, and the main guy's a big deal in Mexico.
Is he?
Yeah, which I knew he was. And
you did already?
Yeah, he's just starting to show up now in some new things. Yeah,
I like the guy that played his brother, the redheaded brother.
Yeah,
I like that guy. He was funny.
Yeah, I mean, this has been so much.
So it's available now. Check it out.
Check it out. Half Brothers. It's really good. Okay, next movie. We are going to talk about is. This is our last one for today.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, which is probably the big hit of the weekend.
This is another one I had no interest in.
Oh, I was ready for this.
Well, tell them about it and then we'll talk.
Okay, so this is now available on Disney
Plus.
And Disney Plus. It's called Godmothered.
Wow.
Okay, who's the main people in Godmothered? Jillian Bell and
Isla Fisher. Jane Curtin.
I don't know who the sister.
No, Jane Curtin is the main fairy godmother.
Oh.
And
your girl,
June Squibb.
She shows up. She is like the cutest, funniest little lady ever.
I love her.
Ever.
Ever since she showed up on I think it's Nebraska when she got nominated for an Oscar, she's been in everything. She was on my show Shameless. She shows up on every other TV show, movies. She's always so
she's
good.
working, man. She is.
She's
working.
like the Betty White of this generation.
She is. She's the best. Okay, so
tell us about it.
Okay, so this is about. I'm trying to remember what her name is in the movie. It doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
She's learning to become a godmother, and she's in godmother training school. Fairy godmother, Jillian Bell.
Not just somebody's godmother.
Yes, that's a real thing. She's in fairy godmother training school. But we're finding out that not many people have requests for fairy godmothers anymore.
They've stopped believing.
It's
kind of taken on like the standard holiday Santa Claus idea.
Yeah.
Where nobody believes anymore.
Correct.
But they're still clearly, because there's a lot of discussion about tooth fairies.
That's right. If you don't believe, then your godmothers have to go now to become tooth fairies.
But it seems to be like a ghetto job the way they talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, but June Squibb is like, you get a little cash in your pocket.
She's like, you have money in your pocket. You only have to work nights. She's
like, it's not a bad gig.
Yeah, but Jillian Bell wants to be a fairy godmother. And so she decides, even though she hasn't received her full training, she's going to take on a case.
Well, it's very important to note that Godmotherland or whatever it's called is being shut down because there are no more cases.
Nobody believes anymore.
So she finds one in like this hall that's now all dilapidated and shrubberies are growing on in it.
The hall of requests or
the
something.
hall of Godmothering.
Yeah,
and so she goes to find it. She comes to this time period, and it's way later.
Yes.
The young person that wrote the letter is now grown.
Yeah, she didn't realize that. And that's where the funniest thing is she shows up and she's like, but you're so old.
I like the movie.
So funny.
Okay, so here's my thing is I'm not usually a big fan of these movies like Enchanted and Ella Enchanted and all these things. And usually Godmother aspects are secondary characters. And it's usually a cartoon,
Correct.
Or like even the Cinderella movie, you have the fairy godmother, but they're kind of secondary.
Yeah.
It was an interesting twist to put the godmothers front and center, but even more so in a way that made it more of a fish out of water.
Yes, that's the funny part of it.
Which logically makes no sense to me, because if your whole jobs are going and being fairy godmothers to people in the story, why would you not know anything? But that's what makes all the laughs happen.
Yeah. Well, and that brings to light why there's no request anymore. They haven't evolved.
Yeah.
They're still following the step, meet your prince, fall in love, live happily ever after. And the world does not work that way.
Right.
I mean, we are happily ever after, but there's still some problems sometimes, right? I mean,
with who?
Us. It's not 100%.
I don't talk to you.
It's not 100% perfect. It's like 99% perfect.
Oh, we don't talk. So.
Whatever.
This is when we talk every week. We don't see each other the rest of the week.
You're a liar. Anyhow, I loved it. It is hilarious. It is funny. Jillian Bell does some great just comedy and physical comedy.
It is really fun. I had a really good time with this movie. I really didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
I like when
I do like her. And then knowing June Squibb was in there, I was all in. Isla Fisher, I'm fine with.
I love Isla Fisher. She does some great.
She's the better of her and Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I was writing the review and I had that same issue again of thinking, hey, Isla Fisher's jumping into this world again, and thinking of Enchanted, and that's Amy Adams.
That's Amy Adams.
And I'm like, I had to stop myself, so thankfully I didn't.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. I like her better. But don't tell Amy Adams that.
But Jillian Bell's always funny, and I like that she's got this like lead role carrying this movie.
The most ridiculous thing is she's walking around through the entire movie with a gigantic ball gown. Like full hoop skirt ball gown. She doesn't fit anywhere. She tries to get in the car and it's like all over the place.
But at the beginning of the movie, I don't know if you heard me, that I was talking with this stupid gown, like when I was walking down the street. But then I realized that's going to make this movie even funnier because she doesn't fit in anywhere. Nobody seems to question it.
No.
But she's always out of place.
Yes.
Especially when she wears her poncho. Like there's a scene when they first, some lady sees her and she's sat down and went to sleep under a tree, but she looks dead.
Yeah.
And so like the lady's poking her with a stick because she's got this poncho.
It's not a poncho, babe. It's a cape.
Well, it's covering her entire body. It's not wrapped on her.
It's a full cape.
Okay, it's a poncho.
It's a cape.
Is wears back here. It does not cover your whole body.
Well, hers covers her whole body. It's a cape.
You know who doesn't want to admit about ponchos? The Hispanic, because she's trying to forget ponchos.
No, I like ponchos.
Mexican
ponchos
buffet?
are fun. Yes, I like that too.
Anyway, but yeah, she just looks like a little teepee.
She's like gigantic hoop skirt everywhere.
It's really funny.
It's ridiculous. It's hilarious.
It is a really fun little movie.
You've got to watch it. It's available on Disney Plus right now, so just go watch it. It is family friendly, and I like that it's not just a normal dumb movie. It's funny, but there are layers. And
there's a lot of heart in it.
It's about family. It's about loss. It's about love. It's about finding love again. And it's about fairy godmothers.
And I will say, even though I kind of figured out where the story was going to be going, I like that they didn't stick to the cliched love story.
Right.
That it clearly was heading towards.
Right.
But it veers in different directions and it makes you think about different things about love.
I agree.
Because, everybody's always anything about love is always about two people falling in love. And that's not all what love is. And this movie takes that journey into bigger elements of what love really is.
Yeah. I want to know what love is. I liked it. It was so good. I would watch that again before I ever watched Popeye. It's really fun.
I enjoyed it.
Never watch Popeye again.
Well, you're gonna have to find what love is. I'm gonna
find this and watch it like 4 times.
Well, and then you're gonna watch Popeye 5.
Anyway, check it out. Godmothered, about fairy godmothers.
Disney Plus right now.
We all need the fairy godmother.
I believe Mulan, if you have not checked it, I think is now available.
It's now
on
there.
Disney Plus as just a part of your normal add-on. So check it out as well.
Okay, there you go.
Is that it then?
Yep.
All right, so let me talk about our giveaways.
Okay, tell me what's free. I like free stuff.
So we got a few giveaways. Some of them are going to be ending, some of them are new. So actually, all of them are fixing to start ending except one new one. So we still have copies of Iron Mask that I'm giving away. That was whatever his name is, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan and this other guy. We have copies of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings 4K trilogies.
Okay.
They are set up as separate contests if you want to enter. So you can't enter one to win both, but you can enter both to win both. I did that on purpose because I know some people don't like the Hobbit trilogy and probably would prefer just the Lord of the Rings trilogy. What do you mean you raised a hand? You don't like the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I don't like any of it.
Oh, really?
I don't like hobbits. They creep me out.
See, I actually realized that...
Furry feet are not okay. Sorry.
Why you always give me dirty looks at my feet? No, you said
I'm just saying.
Like the Lord of the Rings it grows on me a little more now.
It's too much.
It's
man.
still way too long.
Too long. There's too much time of nothing.
Of just walking and nonsense.
Sorry.
I actually like the Hobbit trilogy.
Do you?
But I think it's because it deals more
like
dwarves.
hobbits?
No, I like dwarves.
Dwarves.
I love dwarves. When we played Warhammer, I always had dwarf armies and stuff, and this movie's predominantly dwarves.
I gotcha.
So I think that's why I like it a little bit more, even though I know it's not up to par of the Lord of the Rings, but I don't care about it. I have my opinion. You go suck it.
All right.
If you want to fight over, we can, because I fight for a living. Then we also have copies of Buddy Games that we're giving away, which is this fun little comedy. And lastly, the newest one we're giving away, we are giving away copies of Blade on 4K. The original Blade starring Wesley Snipes. And as we all know, Marvel is rebooting Blade with the Mahershala Ali or whatever his name is. Eventually, I think he's going to show up in the new Doctor Strange movie. Personally think that's when they're going to introduce him.
Yeah.
But either way, you get the original Blade. And I was watching this movie the other night, and I forgot how much I really dig this movie. I'm even seriously consider doing a martial arts movie Monday on this movie.
Okay.
Because it's a martial arts
movie.
It
is.
And I just want it pointed out that people seem to forget and not give this movie enough credit for where we are in superhero movies today.
Yeah.
Black Panther got all the credit for the very first big screen African-American superhero money, whatever, because he made way more money. Don't get me wrong. The late, great Chadwick Boseman was amazing in the movie. I love the guy. Rest in peace. Wakanda forever. But Blade, really, I guess you count Steel. I don't know if Steel came first. But Blade is set the tone. It changed the game for comic book movies. It was rated R. Most people look at it, well, that's not a superhero movie. It doesn't matter. It was a Marvel comic movie that New Line made. It set off a trilogy. It had a black lead. It was something different that people bought into.
It was super different, but I liked it.
It was the reason between this and the very first X-Men changed the game. We would not have Marvel Cinematic Universe if we had not had the X-Men movie, and we did not have Blade. So Blade needs to get more credit. If you want to argue with me, we can fight on that too.
Okay.
All right, I'll fight everybody. Ah! All right, sorry.
Okay, this is going to be an exciting time.
Is it?
Yes.
Is there lots of things and stuff?
Yes. So coming out on Tuesday, video on demand and digital, The Smiley Face Killers. Sounds like something you'd want to watch.
This one?
Yeah. It's available on video on demand and digital starting on Tuesday.
Look, it's Crispin Glover.
I
love Crispin Glover.
Me out so badly.
I'm so excited. So we're going to be watching this one and discussing it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll watch this one tonight.
Also coming on video demand and digital on Tuesday is The Black Book of Father Dennis. And it's about some kids during the 18th century. It looks kind of creepy. Friday. Let's see.
We have that one.
Okay. But coming out in limited release, if you find it, Wild Mountain Time. But time like the flavoring, not time like the watch.
The flavoring.
And it's Jamie Dornan not doing something dumb like 50 Shades, doing something else.
Emily Blunt. That's what I was trying to tell you the other day, and I couldn't tell you who it was.
Emily Blunt, which is Mrs. Mary Poppins.
And they're all playing Irish.
Oh, good. So they'll get to use some good. Christopher
Walken's the other one playing. So there was a lot of
John
issues.
Hamm.
There's a lot of people complaining, I think, because all of them are playing Irish.
Well, you know what? So, let it happen.
But we have that one, so we'll be discussing that next week.
Okay, Prime Video, I'm Your Woman. It's about a lady who has to go on the run because her husband's partner's double-crossed him or something. Don't know. Also coming to Netflix, we have The Prom, starring Meryl Streep.
I've been getting a lot of
and
press
James
lately.
Corden. So we'll see. I'm going to assume there's some singing.
I don't know. And it's something James Corden did in that movie has caused grief.
Oh,
there's also it's
Kerry Washington, Keegan Michael Key. I mean, there's a bunch of people.
What's funny too is before I forget I said controversy. Monster Hunter, not even out yet.
Yeah,
he's already been banned from Chinese theaters.
Why?
Because of one scene of a racist Chinese joke, and it was a joke of something like these two soldiers. Somebody played the clip, and it was like something about how you need to check out these knees or whatever. Like what? And he's like Chinese, and China got pissed off and have already banned that movie from Chinese cinemas.
They didn't even dirty knees.
And it's not even. I don't think so. I don't remember the whole line. But it's not even a good joke that was in the. Not even necessarily for the movie. It was stupid.
Oh well.
I'm sure they'll probably cut it somehow and then get it back in there. But anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna skip that. Okay, coming to Disney Plus. We're gonna have to watch this because our friend is gonna be so into this. It's the movie called Safety. It's about a football player named Ray McElrathbey from Clemson University, and our friend is all Clemson orange, so we'll have to watch that. Coming to Netflix. This looks interesting. It looks like an animated feature called Canvas, and it's about a grandfather who's dealing with loss and just going into decline. But look how cute that is. It's about him deciding to pick up painting again, but it's like a little animated feature, so I'm really excited. Okay, video demand and digital, a movie called Parallel. It looks like multiverse stuff, which I'm always into. Universi, because I believe that other universes exist.
I'm aware you do.
I believe there's life on other planets. I believe in all these things, but that's me. I could be a crazy person. This to me is so cray.
We have it.
I can't believe he's back, y'all.
I'm so excited.
Crocodile Dundee is back.
Well, I don't know if it's actually Crocodile Dundee, is it?
Paul Hogan.
I know it's Paul Hogan, but I don't know if he's playing. I think he's playing himself.
I don't know, man.
But yeah.
So Apple TV, the movie's called The Very Excellent Mr. Dundee. Paul Hogan's in it. He just wants to, it says, live happily in retirement, do his crossword, and be left alone. But he's got his 10-year-old granddaughter coming from Sydney to visit, and I think crazy fun things ensue. I'm excited because I loved me some Crocodile Dundee.
I did not realize you loved Mr.
Oh, I loved him when he had his little pocket knife. It was like,
well, we have it to watch.
And Olivia Newton-John, lover. Chevy Chase.
Well, they're all probably playing themselves.
John Cleese. I mean,
they're probably all cameos.
Yeah, I don't care.
We have this to watch too.
And it's gonna be good. Okay.
I forgot about all this stuff I have to watch this week.
Coming to Netflix, a movie called Giving Voice. It's about these kids auditioning for a monologue competition, but Denzel and Viola Davis are in it, or Viola, whatever you want to say.
Is it a documentary kind of thing? It is.
Robin and yeah, on Broadway. That's okay. I'm in. They're in there.
Arch Enemy, I'm looking for.
Arch Enemy, limited release, if you can find it. It's Elijah Wood, which he's okay.
Joe Manganiello.
I like him. And Joe Manganiello.
Joe's actually the star of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's kind of a superhero kind of thing.
Okay, limited release, if you find it near you. The Stand-In. It's got Drew Barrymore. I don't really know what's happening, but we're going to watch it. Okay, do we have this? Video demand and digital. Knuckle Dust. That just sounds like it's a Fight Club movie if you find it. Okay. Apple TV. Wander Darkly. A traumatic accident leaves a couple in a surreal state of being.
It's hilarious.
I love these. It's Sienna Miller and Diego Luna. So I kind of like Diego Luna. So I'll kind of be there.
Yeah, I was bummed out that his Ghost Rider series got canceled.
Yeah, but I like this kind of stuff because to me, this is one of those, it's reminding me of that other movie where you don't really know what's real and what's not because you're in an accident state of mind. Like you've had that. And so it's that trauma. So that, what was that movie with Eliza Dushku? And she didn't know what was real or what was not. And people were trying to kill her, but not really. And you find out something happened.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyways. Okay. What is Gunda? Is that the pig movie?
Yes.
Video demand and digital. You guys, go to our channel and find the trailer. We need to post the link to the trailer.
Go to YouTube.
Go to the YouTube channel.
Go to our YouTube channel and you can search.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You got to tell them what this is about. It's like this black and white trailer.
Yeah, it's a documentary that this filmmaker made. It's literally following a pig. I believe it's a chicken and something else. And it's they literally just kind of left the thing playing, and you're just watching these animals live.
But it follows like their lives.
Yeah, but it's not. And I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard a lot of stuff about how engaging it is and mesmerizing it is. And in the trailer, I watched it, and I was just like,
Like what?
I was all in just watching this trailer because it just seems. And the only reason I watched the trailer is because the poster looked terrifying. Because it was like the silhouette of this pig in a doorway. And I'm like, what is this movie? And I'm watching, I'm like, what? I don't understand what's happening.
There's
nothing's happening.
There's no narration. There's nothing but just animals and their animal sounds.
But it looks like it's either going to be, I think you either feel like the biggest waste of your time or it's going to be the most mesmerizing thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, I hope that it's good. I'm waiting for it to be like revolutionary, like tire. Or rubber.
Rubber revolutionary. But
it's different though. There's no narration for the tire, but you get it. Even has as horrible as it is, but like Deathbed. I love Deathbed, the bed that eats, and I am so enthralled by that. But I am enthralled by this Gundam movie because it's just animals, but. Already, there was one scene where I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen to the chicken? Like, just in the trailer, I'm like, what's going to happen to the chicken?
I'm like, I haven't seen it either.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay,
anyway,
that's going to be the
revolution. We have a lot we're going
revolution.
to talk about next week, so
oh gosh.
let's move on from that.
Okay.
All right, so
that's all.
Out,
there's a lot to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot that we're talking about. So coming out next week, there's not a ton of stuff coming out, but as she mentioned, the Smiley Face Killers is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD as well, so we'll be talking about that one. Possessor. Is uncut, is officially hitting Blu-ray and DVD. We've talked about it on the show. It's a strange one, but it's one really big. They Live and Total Recall are both getting 4K releases. Also, Collateral, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, is getting a 4K release. And the one that's probably like the biggest buzz right now that I will be talking about next week. I was going to have her watch it with me, but I don't even know if she would remember most of it to really know the difference. So is actually the release of The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. If you don't know what this is, I'll go into more in depth next week. But it's basically a new restored director's cut of Godfather 3 that Francis Ford Coppola went back in, added some scenes, rearranged some scenes, and supposedly made it in the film it was supposed to be before it was released.
Oh, there was different stuff. Is it different? Or did you watch it?
I don't know. I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people say it's the same film but a new edit, essentially.
Yeah.
But they went back to the original negatives. They went back to scenes that were cut out. They went to unused scenes. Godfather 3 is known as the weakest of the trilogy. I don't necessarily agree with what they get, but I'll explain more on that. Don't get me wrong, I think Godfather 1 and 2 are still masterpieces, but I have a difference of opinion about this movie. But I haven't watched this one. I am rewatching the entire Godfather trilogy as is. So I'm on Godfather 3 now, and then I'm going to actually rewatch it again with this new version.
That's a lot of hours, babe. Well, these movies are not short.
No, I don't even know how. The new cut is 157 minutes.
Because we just watched them last year, all of them.
No, it's been a couple of years.
Has it?
Yeah. Because it was at...
Because I had never seen them. It was here. That's what I'm saying. I had never seen it. Maybe 2 years.
Right when we moved in here then.
That's a lot.
This new cut of this is only 157 minutes, but I believe it's 170-something minutes, so I think it's a shorter movie. I'll double check. But I wanted to see the original version fresh before seeing this to see if I noticed the difference. I want to see the new one when you watch it. But I needed to make sure to rewatch the other ones to kind of build myself up and not just dive into part 3.
Correct.
It bothered me.
Yeah.
So I've rewatched them. The first 2 are still masterpieces. But there's also a few things the reasoning why I think this one gets a bad thing that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Because this one was nominated for Best Picture and some other stuff as well, despite its bad things. So we'll get into that next week. So this comes out this week. If you're a Godfather fan and want to see the new cut, The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone.
Okay.
And I think, other than that, I think it's a lot of random stuff. I don't think any. Like My Science Project is getting Yellowstone season 3. They better send me that because I couldn't watch it because of the stupid Hulu didn't have it all without paying for it. Stupid ass.
You get so upset.
Huh?
A lot of shows they do that where they'll let you watch like the first episode.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what they were going to do.
And then
they let me watch season premiere, and then I couldn't watch it. I'm like,
yeah, they do that.
So I've asked for it. I got to follow up because I need to watch it.
So good.
Yellowstone's an awesome show if you've never seen it. Anyway,
that's
what's happening.
Well, thank you so much for watching us today on our little show called Hollywood Matrimony Live. You're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to find us on the Instagram and the Twitter, Hollywood Matrimony. We'll there. Go find us. Go like, go share, tell all your friends, subscribe, do all the clicky things you're supposed to do. I don't know how that stuff works. Go tweet about it. Tell somebody you know.
There was something I was going to tell you.
That you love me.
Well,
I'm beautiful. That my feet are pretty.
Oh, God, no.
We don't like feet, you guys. When you spend your whole life barefoot.
Well, now I don't remember. There was something I was going to tell you in relation to...
Your skin looks bumpy.
It's because I'm old.
No, I've got my acne and my maskne happening. Like, I got this bump right here. It hurts.
I don't remember. There was somebody liked or commented on something that was a director or somebody.
You got asked if you can use your quote on a movie.
Yeah, they asked me on Half Brothers. So be on the lookout on Half Brothers. There might be a quote from us.
From Hollywood Matrimony.
And they just say my name or Hollywood Matrimony on it. So
that's so exciting.
So far, that would be my third film if it's on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, because you're on that other one.
And the first, it is not a martial arts flick.
Oh,
because I'm on Redeemer and I'm on.
We're on the box on Redeemer,
but we're on. It's under Examiner because that was pre Hollywood Matrimony.
Shoot.
So Die Fighting and the Redeemer both have quotes for me on it.
Hollywood Matrimony.
And then Half Brothers would be the first non-martial arts thing.
That's cool.
Does. But it might just be one of those that shows up in the trailer or a print ad, and I might never see it.
That's okay. That's exciting.
I don't care. This has been asked to me before, and then I never saw them, so who knows?
All right.
You get more excited about it than
I do. I get very excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. What movie is that?
Let's Saved by the Bell.
There you go. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We will see you next week. Peace and love, man.
That's right. We'll be back for another episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. She's apparently not going to tell you about Twitter or anything else.
I already did that.
At the end of the show?
I did.
She didn't.
Yes, I did. And then you're like, there was something else I was going to say.
I know. I'm just trying to be difficult at this point.
Love you. Peace be
right,
with you.